Hi, everybody. Ralph Sheheen from Speed Sport here with you, and Jamie Sullivan is joining me. Now, many of you who follow Monster Jam probably recognize Jamie from the Sparkle Monster Truck. That's awesome, Jamie. Tell me a little bit about how you got into that.
Yeah, so I actually grew up racing cars my entire life. I did oval track racing, short track racing, and I started in go-karts when I was 9 years old, moved up to stock cars at 11 years old, and just kind of worked up the ranks. And then in 2019, I decided to take a tour of the University of Northwestern Ohio, which is an automotive and high performance school. So, really cool opportunity. I got to actually study automotive and high performance motorsports and got to learn how to work on race cars and monster trucks, and that actually led me to working for an independent monster truck team, which was really cool because I got to actually work on the trucks for a couple years before driving for them for a few months. And then Monster Jam and UNOH are actually partnered together. So after that, the team kind of got out of it, and I decided to apply to Monster Jam. And luckily, with the UNOH background, it kind of helped me get that connection and get that job with Monster Jam about 3 or 4 years ago.
So, obviously, UNOH is the leader when it comes to educating people who want to get involved in motorsports. I didn't realize that they have a Monster Jam internship or something like that.
Yeah, so really cool. They actually have where two students get the chance to actually go to MJU, which is Monster Jam University, and drive one of the trucks. I didn't get that privilege to actually do that, but I did get to, like I said, work on the trucks and then actually go down to the Monster Jam auditions, which is super awesome. But now UNOH also has a club that's a Monster Jam club. So a bunch of the students from the college actually get the chance to go out to some of our events at different live events, and they actually get to do hands-on work at the event, whether it's working on a truck or building the track and the track construction. It's super cool that they now have that opportunity. They meet a couple times a week to kind of go over things, and then Monster Jam brings them out to the events.
Jamie, I got to tell you, your enthusiasm for monster trucks and for UNOH is just really inspiring. I'm ready to sign up myself. It's gonna be a little hard to teach this old dog a new trick, I think, but maybe UNOH could do it. I got a funny feeling they could probably teach me a thing or two. So, what did you like the most about UNOH when you were there?
UNOH is definitely a big part of the hands-on experience. I think that was one of the major things when it comes to UNOH that was really important. Getting to learn, like I said, how to work on race cars. We actually got to work in the shop. So I joined the motorsports team, the UNOH motorsports team. And like 5 minutes up the road, they had their own track, which was Lima Land Motorsports Park. And that was our own dirt track. Super awesome. I got to work on the motorsports team, wrenched on some of those race cars, but also got to drive some of the race cars as well. So that whole team was student led. So all the way from working on the cars to managing the cars to driving the cars, it was all student led, which is really awesome because you actually get your experience to learn how to run a team, work on a team, and do all of the above. So that was really cool. And then also in your classes, like I said, I did automotive and high performance motorsports. And I got to learn how to work with my hands on pretty much everything. Like 90% of the time, you're working with your hands on these vehicles rather than just being in the class studying. So that was definitely something that I think helped me too, because I'm more of a hands on person. I'm not one to, read a book all the time. So that was really cool. It definitely prepares you for the outside world. But also, I also got to do the marketing too. So I actually added on the 2+2 program, which I added on business marketing, which was really awesome in a way because I got to do that while driving for Monster Jam. So that was a 2.5 year course as well. And, I got my bachelor's degree while I was driving a Monster Jam truck.
That's fantastic. I think that's what's really great about UNOH is that they tie it all together. It's not just, hey, if you're going to come to the racing school, you're just going to be spinning wrenches. No, we're going to prepare you for a real career, business wise and performance wise, whether it's behind the wheel or behind a wrench, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I've only mentioned a couple of the clubs that they have, but there's so many clubs to get involved with. They have a drift club, they have an over the wall club, which I did get to take part in that, and it's an ARCA over the wall club where you literally get to go over the wall at some of these NASCAR races and work on these crews. And it's really cool because that's literally you're right in the atmosphere, getting your hands dirty on those cars, and you're getting that chance to, connect with these teams that you might want to join after you graduate.
Obviously, women are really getting more and more and more involved in motorsports every day, all around the world on every level, and it's fantastic. How did you find the experience at UNOH as a woman who wanted to be involved in motorsports? Because it is
You
male
know,
dominated still.
yeah, it's definitely still male dominated, but that's the cool thing about UNOH is I felt like I was treated completely equal. I kind of became a part of the boys and just kind of, we kind of bonded over this working on cars and, joining that motorsports team as well. There was a couple of us girls on the team and, we had to bond together and also, be a part of the boys too, hang out with them, also like learn from them too. Cause there's some other kids in college, that know a little bit more than you. And so it's really cool to actually have that opportunity to, build off each other. And like I said, it felt like I was just a part of the club and we were all together and it wasn't really being an outsider or anything. And that's also the cool thing about Monster Jam too, is, we're women competing against the men. It's a fair equal playing field. There's no like bad going on, you know what I mean, like no women aren't being put down for being a Monster Jam driver. We're together, we're all going against each other. It's a fair playing competition, we're treated the same way, and that's the cool thing about it.
That's awesome. One final question for you. Obviously, when I looked at where I wanted to go to college, UNOH wasn't offering what they do now. I didn't even know about UNOH. I wish I had. I would have been all over it. Who knows where I could have gone? Maybe I could have been a Monster Jam driver. Who knows, instead of just a Monster Jam announcer through my career. But obviously, the social dynamic of college is important. It helps shape you as an individual, right? You learn a lot about meeting people, dealing with people, relationships, so forth and so on. How was the social side? Was it fun?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely got to meet a lot of people that I never would have imagined meeting in the motorsports industry and outside the motorsports industry. So it's definitely really cool to have those chances to, we had different celebrities actually come to the school and you got to meet them, got to learn from them, and that's one of the biggest things too. Is just it's almost how many people in the sport rather than like being a part of the sport. So I almost say like meeting somebody in the sport, getting connected with them. It's about your connections. It's about learning from them and, just staying connected, staying on top of it, getting a part of these teams, like I said, and just kind of putting your name out there. That's the biggest thing. Putting your name out there to these teams, letting them know who you are, what you've learned in school. Like I said, UNOH is really great with that too, because we have our own admission directors too. And, with them, they kind of hook you up with different placements when it comes to teams and getting involved. And that was, like I said, one of the biggest things is just being involved, getting that connection with those teams, because with that you can literally go anywhere.
What you just said there is so important, having that placement director relationship to help you guide your path to where it is you want to go, putting you in the right positions to achieve your dreams. Well, Jamie, I now have a brand new monster truck favorite driver. Your enthusiasm is so infectious. It is great. Really excited to meet you. Have a great season ahead with Monster Jam. I know you guys are getting ready to get after that here real hard, real fast. We'll be watching and cheering you on. And if you're interested in going to get a motorsports career going in your life, UNOH is the place to go. Check them out.